Hello Darts Nutz, welcome to Darts Review channel. How would you like another all-in-one moulded flight system review? You would? That's good, because that's what this is. Yep, another all-in-one moulded flight system, and this time it's from Shop Darts, and these are the flight deck. Now you'll be able to buy these on December the 14th, and they're going to retail for £11.95. They're only available in the standard shape at present, and you can get them in the three colours: black, white and the transparent. Three sizes: medium, in between and short, but they'll be coming out with more shapes and colours eventually. Now these ones have got a feature that is quite similar to the Q-Sol ones that came out, and that's the carbon reinforced centre, but Shot have actually been developing these for 18 months, so they had the idea before the Q-Sol ones went to market. But they also have another feature that is probably quite handy, which the other ones don't have, so I'll explain what that is. So I'll go over some dimensions, I'll give you a close look, and I'll throw some at the board. But as usual in these kind of videos, I can't test the long-term durability, so at some point I'll have to report back. So let's check them out. So they come in these little cardboard boxes, and as I mentioned, there's only standard shape available at present, but they've all got the shape on the box, and also the length of the stem. That's medium, and it tells you the exact length, 31.2. But on the back you got info about the flights, and the thing that I was on about, what the others haven't got, was this dynamic rotation on impact. And that's, I think, similar to what was on the Harrow's Carbon 360 stems, but it didn't work all that well on them because it was such a tight stem. It didn't turn very well. Carbon reinforced, durable polymer, perfectly balanced, reinforced flight edges. And like I mentioned, they'll be coming out with more colours and shapes, but I'll just get all these out of the boxes first, and then we'll have a better look at them. Alright, so as I said, we got the white, the kind of like clear, transparent, and the black. So I'll move that out of the way. So there you go, that's the medium, in between and the short. Now with that clear one, you can see the carbon centre, so it shows up on there. Obviously others have got the black on the bottom, but I don't know if that section is made of carbon or whether it's another nylon or whatever, because it kind of looks like there's a carbon rod going through the middle there, unless that's just where the moulding system's been broke off. But I'll have a look at the black one. Right, so the black one's better to see, I think, through the camera, and as you can see, the bottom edge and the top edge have got quite a substantial reinforced section there, so it's quite thick on that part there, and also the mid part on the top, it's got a nice chunky bit to protect against Robin Hoods. And with the moulded flight systems, you get your 90-degree angled wings, and it's got a kind of a teardrop shaped channel there, so your dart can run down, but the stems themselves look kind of like a normal stem. And I'm not sure what the material is. It's not the same as the Condor Axe or the K-Flex or the Fusion and the Phantoms that have come out recently. It's more similar to the Ross, kind of like a softer, more pliable plastic, and similar to what the normal L-style flights are. So obviously we just have to play with them to see how durable they are, but hopefully that quite thick reinforced part will help. And the other thing that I mentioned was the dynamic rotation thing. Now that was on the Harrow's Carbon 360 stems, but didn't really work so good on them because it was such a stiff rotation, it didn't seem to move at all. So with these it will move, and I think it moves a lot easier than what the Harrow's ones did. So that's one direction that way, but let's see, it is moving in the other direction, but Depends on how tight it is in the barrel, I think, because I did try it before on one of the other stems, and it opened it out of the stem, out of the barrel I should say. So maybe it just takes a while to get a little bit easier to move, but it's not like a rattly free rotation, so it should only move if it gets a substantial impact and it will turn. But I think it definitely moves more freely than the Harrow's 360 ones did. But while it's in the barrel there, if you do this, you can actually pull the thing off. It looks like a weapon now, or you could use it as a double pointed dart. But you can see it's got like a little nub there, so that's obviously what's keeping it on. And it's quite a flexible rod, that, but when it's all in one piece like that, there is definitely some flex there, but I don't know if it's any more flexy than, say, the others and a normal stem. But there's the medium and in between setup. Now I'll try with the medium because that's the ones I think I've got the most normal sizes of. Is that the same size? Yeah. So that's a normal nylon stem, but with the longer stems there's going to be more flex. So let's see whether a normal stem flexes as much as that. I don't think it will, like. But whether not having flex or not is a good idea or a bad idea, it might just depend on the individual. So there is some flex to a bog standard nylon stem. These are the Q-Sol AK5 Rost flights, and they have got probably more flex, but it's a similar feeling material, that. And this is the Fusion. I think this was medium size, and that has definitely got more flex, but it is quite a slim stem there. And these are the Target K-Flex, and again I think that's more flexy than the shot ones, the flight decks. And this is a medium Condor axe. Yeah, that, in terms of the flex, I'd say it's closest to them. So I'll just weigh them all. The short flight deck is 1.34 grams, and the in between 1.47 grams, and the medium 1.55 grams. So I think the Rost ones are a little bit shorter, but that's 1.3, so they're a bit lighter. And a normal nylon stem with a 100 micron flight is heavier, 2.05. Let's have a look. As the Fusion, I think the Fusion's a little bit bigger. That's 1.6 nearly, 1.59, but that's got the slim part there. So what was that one again? 1.57, so almost the same weight as them, even though they're like slimmer. And the K-Flex is a bit lighter, and it's probably quite close in the length there. The Condor axe is heavier, but I think it's a little bit longer. So there's not a great deal of difference in terms of the weight of these compared to the others, and I would say in terms of the flex it's probably closest to the Condor axe. So whether that can help me make a decision or not, but obviously that rotation thing remains to be seen if it's going to do anything, because on this one it'll rotate that way. If I rotate it that way, it just comes unloose from the barrel, so it may be something that needs to get worked loose, but we'll throw them at the board for a bit and see what happens. Treble 5 champion. I actually put the in-between ones on. I've been playing with the short ones for a few days with these particular darts, and they've been doing alright, but I thought for the main part of the review I'd switch to the new set and just see how it goes. But so far I haven't had any complaints about the flights. They seem to be working quite well. It's kind of hard to like realize if anything's actually working in terms of the dynamic rotation thing, because like I mentioned, it will turn that way, but like I did mention when I did the review on the Harrow's Carbon 360 stems, because it was so stiff, the dart would turn in the board in any case, so I just don't know if it has an effect. It may well do, depending on how tight the dart is stuck in the board, and these ones definitely turn a little bit more freely than what the Harrow's 360 did, but like I also said, when you turn it that way it tends to unscrew from the stem. But I don't know if that makes a difference really, because as long as it rotates in one direction, then I suppose it's still doing its thing. Treble 5 champion again, yes! But I'm going to have to play with them for longer, like I always say when I review these things, because you can't really test it in just a few days and get an impression, even a few weeks sometimes, because some of them are lasting that well. It takes a while. And also it seems like sometimes people have weird issues. I don't know if people are using heavy darts or really aggressively grippy darts or something, because a few people have said the wings are snapped on the fusion flights, and again with them I haven't had any problems, so I don't know, maybe some people are just unlucky. I was just looking at there, this seems to be like a line which I couldn't see before, but I think it's probably where it must be where it goes on that little nub thing. Must like click over it or something. But I don't know if there's much point in me throwing anymore. I've done a couple of slow more things just to see if I could see anything happening. So hopefully I'll look on the video and see how they turned out and put them up on the screen. But like I said, so far impressions are quite favourable, and it's not even any marks over there, just a tiny little nick. Well, not really a nick, just a little rough bit there, but other than that, see if there's a couple of lines going down, but you always get them. But the black ones, I don't know where I've put them, I think they might be up the stairs, but the black ones are still in pretty good condition, even though I've had quite a few hours with them. So like I say, I'll just report back, but so far impressions are quite favourable, and it's quite strong on the leading edge and also on the top edge, so hopefully that's going to keep it durable enough. But there's so many of these out now. Like I always say, you've got to try and find out what suits you, and everything is worth a try at least once. I know they're not that cheap, but the thing is, if they do last well, say if you get a few months wear out of them, then that kind of like helps a little bit. And if they last a year or more, then that's even better. So I suppose you've got to think of it like that way. But anyway, I'll report back maybe in another 8 weeks or so and seeing how I'm getting on. But by the time this video goes out, there'll only be a few more days to wait for the flights to go on sale. So when you get a set, like always, report back on here and let us know your own feedback, because it just helps everyone else. So that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.